Hygiene Day on the theme period friendly wall, and it was a melodramatic day at Cameroon Football Federation headquarters of Fecafoot in Chinga as the president, technical advisor number 2 to the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education, and the head coach of the male football team all trade insult on one another after a failed meeting that was scheduled to hold at the Fecafoot FA's headquarters in Chinga, Yaoundé. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime of Tuesday, the 28th of May 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with the GCE examination precisely in the southwest region, where the 2024 GCE ordinary and advanced level in the southwest region started hitch-free all across the region today, as Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai visited some writing centers to ascertain the rates of writing unfolding in the various schools in the region, as Daniel Nkomimbua trailed Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai during this practice. And of course, examination for secondary schools in Cameroon, organized by Lafiche, the Baccalaureate Board, and the Cameroon GCE Board, kick-started Monday 27th and Tuesday 28th May 2024 for the two subsystems of education, respectively, in Cameroon.
We have the baccalaureate exams going on, and this is day 2 of the baccalaureate exams. And as of now, out of 100 candidates who are supposed to register for the baccalaureate exams, we have 97 candidates present. And the Cyril Littéraire, that's RRB, they're writing philosophy, while CDTE, they're writing mathematics. That's for the Francophone subsystem examination. For the Anglophone subsystem examination, which is the GC O level and A levels, we have Economics 1 going on. And for Economics 1 O level, we have 1,170 candidates. Economics A level 1, we have 480 candidates. I also have Geology 1 going on, where we have 57 candidates. So we also want to let you know that we are host to 4 different centers. That's BGS Modico, GBHS Moya is writing here. Bolifamba is writing here. Boya Roya, GHS Boya Roya is writing here. And GHS Bumaka is also writing here. So we have a really beehive in this place today.
The different students rushing to meet up with their different examination halls or checking either for their sitting position was quite visible. From Balingwa Grammar School Moliko to Government Technical High School Moliko, Government High School Bukwango, and other centers we visited, everything was unfolding in a hitch-free and serene environment.
You can see yourself, there's a lot of calmness. The whole place is calm to show that something serious is going on. We are really prepared. The students are in class. But for a few, we are still running to meet up with their first paper. But so far, I think we are all set.
Like every other first day, it will not be 100% smooth, but I'll tell you that we can put it rated at 99. Most of the candidates came on time. It's just a few came a little bit late and we're running from one room to the other. But we took our disposition. There are maps all over the school, right from the gates, to indicate where they're supposed to write, so they were not supposed to get confused in the morning. So, and in terms of invigilators, we had more than enough invigilators this morning. You must have realized as you got in here, there was a crowd that was standing out there. Those are the invigilators who were not programmed for this morning. That tells you that we had enough invigilators.
As the writing phase of the Anglophone and Francophone subsystems of education unfold in the nation, all we can say is good luck to all the candidates. We are sorry, that wasn't Daniel Komimbua who was reporting there. We move on to the same GCE writing examination phase that started today in the nation and all around the world. And all around the various parts of the nation, I beg your pardon. The 2024 ordinary and advanced level session was a moment of rush to some students who couldn't find their various sitting position, as they were in a massive rush to sort out for their sitting position and plans in order for them to sit in for the examination proper. This captured by our newsroom reporter Aisha Ben, who tells us on the need for students and candidates to always get to their various examination centers earlier. Aisha.
It is finally another season of the year, the long-awaited season of rushing up and down by the examination classes students. Just like all other years, where students of level from 5 and up seats are being tested on what they have been taught for some months and years. Though filled with tension and not knowing what they will meet in the examination halls, the candidates remain very much conscious of the battle they are about to face. In order to meet up with the required starting time of the exams, they are seen rushing hectare-scatter to their various examination centers. Even though some are more relaxed and sure of their preparedness for the exams, they also make sure to be in their examination centers on time, to struggle and check their halls and various seats in order to settle before the official kickstart of the first paper writing. Worthy of note is the fact that 30 minutes of late coming after the start of the exams, the candidates are not allowed to write. Being very much aware of this, they try their possible best efforts to be at their centers on time, running to various halls, some even getting into hostel with each other at the level of the halls just to check their names and find where they will sit. With all this, success is the main goal at the end.
As the writing phase of the current general examination general examination known as GCE kickstarts today in Cameroon and around the world, the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okalia Belai, took upon himself to visit some writing centers all across the region in order to ascertain the rate in which the writing phase was unfolding on the day one of the writing part of the GCE examination and day two for the baccalaureate examination. Daniel Ekomembua trailed the governor of the Southwest region to visit the various centers to look on how the activities was unfolding. Ekome.
As the General Certificate of Education written session kick off this morning across the nation, the Southwest Governor has made a stop to some centers in the region to evaluate the written process. From Government High School Bokwango, Government Bilingual School Moliko, amongst others, the Chief Executive Officer have these words to say.
The exams started yesterday for the baccalaureate and today for the GCE. I think everything is moving well. The takeoff is good. We just have now to follow up and to accompany our children who are writing the exams.
With such a serene atmosphere reigning in all the various centers, this could not have been possible without the stakeholders.
I want to congratulate all the organizers and the general opinion for the gentleman agreement that the exams should be free with no disturbances. Our children have suffered a lot for the past years. Let us agree, as we have done now, to let them out of all the problems and allow them to prepare for their future, the future of the country, the future of their communities. So I want to thank all the stakeholders, and we'll continue to follow them the whole month of June so that they should, as I said, prepare their life in peace and security.
As the candidates embark on this academic stage of their lives, it is hopeful that their dreams are realized after the proclamation of the results.
Insightful reporting there done by Daniel Komimbua. We remain with the GCE and baccalaureate examination, where during this end of year examination, many students are going overboard to make sure that they get themselves with pre-prepared material. But the examination officers and officials at the various centers are not leaving no stone unturned, as they too have double effort and surveillance to make sure that no student or candidate go into the various exam centers with pre-prepared materials in order to cheat. This is captured by our newsroom reporter, Rita Mafani Mujoko.
As the General Certificate of Education examination commences today, the 28th of May, many students look forward to a successful beginning of the first sitting. The security and examination officials on their part ensure that a proper check is done in order to avoid any form of examinational malpractice. At the entrance to each center, the students are asked to drop their bags at the gates before making their way in with just the authorized writing materials. This process takes a few minutes before the examination commences, as some examiners take out time to caution the students of the dangers involved if caught seen violating the examination laws. Over the years, some students have been caught with pre-prepared questions and answers, locally known in the local parlance as cartouche or speko, as some would say, thereby leading to the ban and suspension by the examination board. This process of searching and cross-inspection of the students ensures that these students do not violate the rules and laws of the examination. For anyone who is caught with pre-prepared materials will be suspended and banned. With this in mind, parents are called upon to caution their children as they take this phase.
And we move on to this report done by Alice Leke Liengwe Komi, where some students living in the most affected areas of the northwest and southwest region are expressing their challenges during the studying and writing phase of this examination of both the GCE board and La Fiche de Baccalaureate who organize this end of year examination. According to the students, for the past months and years now, it hasn't been easy for them studying in this restive parts of the northwest and southwest region that is mostly plagued with gunshots and other upheavals. Alice Leke Liengwe has more.
The General Certificate of Education commenced in Cameroon this May 28. Some students in the crisis region living in the red zones, though writing the exams, have expressed some challenges they face with regards to the time and the location of their respective halls.
If you want to ask a question like you don't know the teacher, you think you are a dull person. First of all, we're coming to find your hall as we know that there's too much population. It was so difficult for us to know where we were writing. And we entered there, you want to ask a question to the teacher, like you are not seeing your center number. The teacher will think you are so dull, you don't know what you are doing. But we thank God that everything went well. Some of us are coming from where there's a lot of crisis. We are facing a lot of crisis. So if the GC can understand that, or the GC can understand that there are some people that will come late in the exam because of the crisis. I live in Munya, to have a taxi to come here in the morning, the worst is on, on Thursday and Thursday. To have a taxi is not possible. So the advice I have for the GCE examination is that they should make sure they pity those who come late. It's not that they are the one doing it, but we are living in the crisis moment. Some of us we have days that we don't go to school. That's the reality of the life we have.
So before I look for my hall, I already see my hall. So I entered the hall when it was already 40 minutes remaining. So when I entered, I was like already giving up. But when I saw the first 5 questions, I was able to answer them.
The fact that these students beat the odds to come and write despite the risk involved, it is also very important for both their parents and the board to re-strategize in the upcoming years, ensuring that these children are able to make it on time and their safety as well.
And we move on to the town of Limbe, the coastal town of Limbe in the southwest region, where commencement of the writing fees of the GCE examination and that of La Fiche de Baccalaureate started yesterday and today respectively in the coastal town of Limbe, as it was a hitch-free one, as our Limbe-based correspondent Frank Lyonga files in this report.
The 2024 General Certificate of Education exams have officially kicked off hitch-free in all the centers in the seaside resort city of Limbe. As early as 7 a.m., candidates were already set for economics paper for the ordinary levels candidates, while for the advanced levels were ready to go in for geology. At the Government High School Limbe, the chief of center, Fetiana, says she's satisfied with the start of the GCE in her institution. As apart from late arrival of some candidates, the center witnessed a smooth kick-off.
The students are all in the rooms, all the candidates are in the rooms. They are writing the examination already. We had a few latecomers, but nearly all the candidates are seated. For the whole year, everything that they will meet on the question paper will be familiar. They should not look for ready-made answers because they will instead be confused.
The Government High School premises is an accommodation center with 7 centers and close to 2,051 candidates sitting in for the GC Ordinary and A levels. GHS, the Government Bilingual High School Limbe, witnessed same scenario with some candidates says the examination questions are within their reach.
Because most of the things in which came that I did study in school, so I'm really grateful. I was afraid to be in a hall like this, but from what I've experienced, relatives are not what we thought they were. They are literally friendly, and the only thing I can say is read to pass and success will be ours in Jesus' name.
Some 1,891 candidates who sat in for the 2023 session suspended for 1 to 3 years and their result cancelled for examination malpractices such as pre-prepared materials, possession of cell phones, script substitutions, amongst others. This year, more measures have been put in place by the various supervisors to eradicate this uncivic act.
From our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, you are watching High Prime if you are just joining us. And we move on to something else. Today is being celebrated in the nation, Cameroon and around the world as World Menstrual Hygiene Day. This year's theme is being coined Period Friendly World, a day set aside by the World Health Organization and other Bretton Woods institutions who thought it wise to make sure that menstrual hygiene becomes something that is practice in a serene and peaceful way for all the young girls and women folk in the world. More with our reporter on that story, Adis Lekelengu Ikome.
Period-friendly world is the theme of the 2024 World Menstrual Hygiene Day. The day aims to break the stigma surrounding menstruation and promote good menstrual health and hygiene.
During that stage, they experience it with dignity and in a comfortable environment. That's why we educate them that using sanitary pads, they should change it 4 to 6 hours, they should clean themselves, they should use clean water, they should wash their hands. So it's centered around their own health, reproductive health, and their cleanliness.
This day is celebrated every May 28 to emphasize the importance of good menstrual hygiene, reinstate the significance of access to menstrual products to all, and break the stigmas associated with menstruation.
Understand that a household, the woman is the backbone of a household. A good household makes a stronger community. For us to have a better community, we have to have a strong household, and to empower these women in any way we can, in shape or form, that will also determine the betterment of the community. And we thought it wise that we take baby steps, do this, as we see the young women grow into more not only powerful but also women instrumental in the society.
Unclean sanitary napkin can lead to urinary infection and reproductive tract infections. Many, like the Battiston Younger Foundation, are doing all in their power to help young women and girls avoid the risks associated with poor hygiene during menstruation. Activities like the distribution of sanitary pads to women and girls are often supported, as the day also aims to encourage women to maintain hygiene during their menstrual cycle.
And in the light of education, students from the Burt Memorial High School in the town of Buea have celebrated their graduation ceremony in Pond. The graduation ceremony that was an avenue for students who performed highly well, who were recently compensated by the school authority for their hard work, as the school will look forward for next year 2024-2025 academic year while preparing her students for the GCE and baccalaureate examination, as they promise to make sure that they have 100% in all of the examination. More with our reporter Ngunyu Sonita.
This was the smile on the faces of students of Burt Memorial High School, Buea, as the school bid farewell to her students. With aims of creating an impact in their students, a graduation ceremony was organized to represent them for 5 students who will be challenging the GCE coming Tuesday, 28th of May 2024 in their various examination halls. Some outstanding students were equally recognized with awarded prizes.
I feel it's interesting because it made me feel so happy and very so proud. I feel good because the first time, because I was not expecting it, I was actually expecting a different person to take the prize because according to my intelligence, she's more intelligent than me. So I'm just trying my effort to challenge her.
The students go on holidays while others will prepare for their end-of-year examinations. They have been encouraged to be ambassadors of Burt Memorial High School.
The children going on holiday, my appeal to them and even to their parents is that holiday does not necessarily mean they don't need to study. They should equally create time because the holiday is a very long one. And if they stay for 3 months without associating themselves with their books or their textbooks or with their lessons, they will come back when everything must have evaporated from their head. And I want to charge them to disassociate themselves from bad friends and bad company. Our gratitude to them for having entrusted their children to us. It has not been easy, but we want to pray that they will be helpful instruments to their children. This is their examination. I will tell them that we have been able to do that which we could do, and it's for them to develop the courage, carry out effective revision, put behind them fear, and enter the examination hall with all confidence.
The graduation and award ceremony was characterized by dance, debate, presentation of awards to outstanding students, alongside prayer and blessing session to all the examination students of Form 5 and Upper C.
And we move on to this other story where Walk to the Talk, an African Center for Policy and Advocacy, together with the Lifestyle Promotion Association, recently has taken part in a walking exercise in the town of Buea, in a sports exercise that was geared towards making sure that the various participants and persons living in the town of Buea and her environs take sporting activities seriously. They walked from the Bongo Square Ceremonial Grandstand down right up to the Modiko Omispo Stadium as Alice Leke Lengu Ikome trailed the participants in this various movement.
As part of the global action to promote physical activity in the society, Africa Center for Policy and Advocacy, together with Healthy Lifestyle Promotion Association, have this Saturday, May 25, Walk the Talk, bringing together the population of Buea to be part of this healthy exercise.
Africans are dying in higher numbers from chronic disease, and physical activity is one of the ways to beat these diseases, to prevent them and manage them. So today we are not just telling you to walk, but we are walking the talk by putting that knowledge into action. In Cameroon, 1 out of every 3 deaths is related to a chronic disease: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, cancers, and even we realize that younger people are developing strokes. If you look at the data, you look at the research, younger people are developing stroke. So for us to be able to put this to an end, for us to be able to reduce these deaths, we have to come out and promote physical activity in the community.
Physical activity helps the human body in many ways to remain healthy.
We believe that with lifestyle, or the way we go about our mission, our eating habits, our lifestyle generally, we'll be able to curb down communicable disease, non-communicable disease, and the community is going to be more driven on approaches that is going to help them out of the regular days of having a physician around them. So with the way you eat, sensitizing the population, the community on how they can go about their lifestyle, their environment, their eating habits, is actually the mission of Health Lifestyle Promotion Association. So we believe that this activity today is going to spread wide. It's going to send a lot of message out. People are going to be aware of the importance of walking, taking a walk daily, and seeing how their health improves without literally taking drugs and using natural medicines like our foodstuff, our walking, and our drinking habits.
The day's activity started with a walk from Bongo Square to Checkpoint Boya, followed by exercise, health talk, and screening for high blood pressure and obesity.
You can see that hypertension and diabetes and all other sicknesses are not only affecting those of age. I think this exercise is a good exercise to encourage, to motivate youth to do exercises.
Physical exercise for sure brings along happiness and peace in the minds of humans. Carrying out this walk the talk in Boya this day is a clear indication that African Center for Policy and Advocacy and Healthy Lifestyle Promotion Association have the health of the community at heart.
And we take you to one of our lead stories, as we did mention earlier. The imbroglio plaguing Cameroon Football Federation, FECAFOOT, and the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education is far from being over. This comes as both entities have less than 11 days to get their acts ready for the qualification matches between Cameroon and Angola and Cameroon and Cape Verde that will be played in the days ahead to the build-up to the World Cup qualification ticket for 2026. The meeting that was slated today earlier in the country's FA at Chinga that failed to hold as a result of the technical advisor number 2 to the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education, Narcisse Melekombi, that is Professor Cyril Tulu, and the coach Mark Breeze and Samuel Etofis, the FA president, who all traded insult on each other as a result of them not agreeing on what to do for the next phase. As we have details with our sports reporter Ngudu Sonita.
Left in an unbalanced scale as Mark Bray's first working session slated for today, May 28, at the FECAFOOT head office in Yaoundé, as convocated by the Secretary General. In the early hours of today, May 28, 2024, the working session only lasted for 5 minutes as it was orchestrated by exchange of words from the FA President Samuel Eto'o and Tolo Cyril, the FA President, who, in action to commence his first ever physical meeting since Mark Brace was appointed as coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, was disrupted by Tolo Cyril, MINSEP representative.
Je ne le fais jamais au ministère. Je vous prie de respecter notre démocratie. Je ne le fais pas. Vous m'avez l'entendre faire. Ne faites pas de bruit, s'il vous plaît. Vous m'avez beaucoup de respect, mais on se connaît. Ok, respectez-vous. On se connaît. Respectez-vous. Et je vous respecte également. Merci beaucoup. Voilà. Maintenant, je peux travailler avec mes collaborateurs? Non, vous ne travaillerez pas avec vos collaborateurs parce que j'ai une instruction du ministre.
It should, however, be reiterated that Mark Brace, upon arrival at the FECAFOOT headquarters in Yaoundé, alongside team, was denied entrance because he came alongside the
delegation is led by the Inspector General of Services of the Ministry of Sport, Mr. Isake. Unfortunately, the FECAFOOT refused to let the delegation go in. They wanted to have a meeting only with Mark Breeze, but this cannot be possible. The message is clear. We only have one staff at the head of our national team. And this staff is already working, will continue working. Thank you very much.
2 minutes later, when the Ether bus arrived, giving instructions for the gate to be opened.
Dérangez pas mon lieu de travail et vous me connaissez très bien. Ici, vous n'avez pas parole. Quand je viens au ministère, je vous respecte. Ici, je suis le seul patron. Et vous ne le faites pas, monsieur Tolo. C'est la dernière fois. Je vous interdis de lever le ton. C'est la dernière fois. Monsieur, vous appelez-moi la sécurité, vous le mettez dehors. C'est la dernière fois, vous avez compris. Et je vous prie, monsieur le sélectionneur, soit vous restez, soit ne me touchez pas. Je suis président.
Pourquoi tu parles comme ça?
Non, non, non. Je suis président, monsieur le sélectionneur. Si vous voulez travailler avec nous... Non, non, non. Vous êtes entraîneur parce que je vous ai nommé. Vous n'êtes pas entraîneur parce que quelqu'un d'autre vous a nommé. Vous avez fait beaucoup de manquements. Et je vous prie de rester dans cette réunion. Parce que si vous ne restez pas, je suis obligé d'interroger mon comité exécutif. Comme la loi me le demande. Donc je vous prie une fois de plus de rester ici.
Le 2 mois que je suis ici.
Je suis le président.
The situation only got worse when some exchanges between Cyril Tolo and Samuel Oto got too bitter, leaving Mark Breeze to leave the meeting prematurely without any conclusion from the two parties. It should be echoed that Team Cameroon is left with just 11 days to prepare for Cape Verde on June 8, 2024 in Cameroon. What is worrisome in this situation is that with no time at hand, no decisive decision has been brought forth to put an end to the ongoing saga plaguing the national team that stands the chance of losing the place at the World Cup qualifier.
And to get the other side of Fecafoot story, we move on to this communique that was issued this evening by the Secretary General of Cameroon Football Federation, Blaise Jungdang, who, according to the communique, reads as thus: the technical, administrative, and medical staff of the men's A national team, headed by Mr. Mark Breeze, head coach, was invited today for a working session in preparation for matches against Cape Verde and Angola, scheduled to take place from the 8th and the 11th of June 2024 in Yaoundé and Luanda, respectively. Fecafoot president, who initiated the meeting, wished to remind Mr. Mark Breeze of the risks he is exposing the national team to, considering the various shortcomings as observed thus. The manifest refusal to attend the first working session organized by the Secretary General of Fecafoot last 10th of May 2024. 2. Publication of players' list and organization of a press conference in violation of Fecafoot procedure. 3. Refusal to communicate a reasonable schedule. 4. Taking isolated work initiative and discussing information of players to third parties and the media without prior approval from Fecafoot. 5. Failure to communicate the final list of players selected for the set matches within the allocated time. Unacceptable behavior prevented today's meeting from taking place, particularly with the attitude from the technical advisor number 2 to the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education, who demanded the president of the country's FA, Samuel Eto'o, to communicate the agenda of the meeting and instruction he had received from the Minister of Sport and Physical Education, which the working session would not have held. The president of Fecafoot, after affirming reminder Mr. Tulu that he has not been invited to the meeting in question, Mr. Tulu asked Mark Breeze and the assistant to leave the press conference. The Fecafoot president then reminded the head coach of that his employer is Fecafoot and that will be held responsible for the consequences associated with the shortcomings. Before leaving the room, Mr. Breeze launched in a series of insults and verbal abuses directed to Mr. Samuel Etofis, while reminding him that he is the head coach and therefore has the final say. Mindful of this situation, the deadline imposed and regulation text to ensure the aforementioned matches can run smoothly, Fecafoot's emergency committee will meet as soon as possible to take mandatory decision. Done today in Yaoundé, May 28, 2024, and signed by the Secretary General of Cameroon Football Federation, Fecafoot, that is Blaise Junga. With that communique from the SG, from Fecafoot's viewers, this is where we conclude tonight's newscast, High Prime of Tuesday, the 28th of May 2024. Thanks for watching and good night from our news studios.